The movie finds time for several Chipmunk musical numbers in which the little beasts sing in their irritating little squeaky high-pitched chipmunk voices until you're just about ready to go crazy. The animation in this movie is better than the Saturday morning TV assembly line cartoons, but not by much, and the story is dumb and predictable from beginning to end. Why couldn't the Chipmunks have had a real fantastical adventure in magical worlds, maybe, instead of getting involved in a stolen jewelry caper that seems recycled out of TV crime shows? That's a problem. And so are those chirping, chirpy little voices.
In other words, you want surgery on the script and on their vocal cords?
Yes, both, yes.
Now, with just about every movie where scientists try to upgrade our genetic blueprint, the result is a mutant killing machine. How come we never get a superior being who can play the violin and speak 17 languages and maybe grow a new kind of flower?
You know, at the end, they just give up altogether, and there's a very, very, very long point of view sequence looking over the top of a gun.
Yes.
And the gun goes like this, and it goes like this, and a monster jumps up, and the gun shoots it. And basically, what it amounts to is you're watching a video game, and you don't even get to play. It's like some kid came into your bedroom, took over your computer, and won't let you get your hand on the controls.
There's nothing more, you're exactly right, there's nothing more frustrating than watching somebody else play a video game. You want to get your hands on the controls. So it's like somebody puts this big meal in front of you and says, now watch me eat it.
There's something else I have to say here, and I just as soon not say this, but I feel like I have to. I didn't like the actress who played the little girl.
No, me either.
She got on my nerves.
Yes, she's
Now,
annoying.
last week we reviewed this Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin.
Right.
He is a great little kid on the screen. He's charming, he's smart, he's got a lot of pep. This little girl just didn't do it for me, and so in a sense
let's get rough with her. Let's kill her career right off the get-go.
Everybody was so nuts about her.
She's a brat. Let's kill her career. She'll end up owning
Wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, she'll end up owning our show.
On TV, we can't show you the scene where Green swings a newborn baby around his head by its umbilical cord, or two scenes involving the sexual organs of a stallion and a bull elephant, or when he skins a deer and runs around wearing its bloody carcass, or any of the jokes about child abuse. The MPAA gave this movie an R rating. That's definitive evidence that the MPAA ratings board is morally adrift, and that we need a workable adult rating for movies like this.
You're absolutely right. This is ground zero. It has to be ground zero of bad comedies. And Tom Green with this horse and with this elephant, if a woman was doing that, this movie would be banned in Tijuana, let alone getting an R rating. And it's just so horrible, and he's such an unfunny guy. He should be flipping burgers somewhere. Why is Tom Green getting movies, and who wants to see this guy? You know, even in a stupid comedy, there has to be a setup before you have a punchline. This is just, hey, let's just do a bunch of punchlines, and the punchlines are, let's do gross out stuff. Let's do jokes, like you said, about child molestation, but there's nothing to even set up the bad taste humor.
Our next film is called The Guardian, about a demonic babysitter who ends up terrorizing a yuppie couple and their baby boy. The babysitter is a descendant of the ancient Druids who worshipped trees. She hopes to sacrifice the child to a tree. First, she has to charm the infant. On the movie level, the visuals aren't compelling either. The big tree is your standard horror movie tree with animated limbs. The couple is boring. The police are standard movie dullards who immediately take the side of the guilty. And the special effects from Bill Friedkin of The Exorcist, well, they're nothing that, shall we say, will turn your head. There's not much to like about The Guardian.
You know, there is one area, though, Gene, where this movie breaks important new ground, and this is something that movie trivia experts
Oh, you're
should
going
study.
to be funny now.
Yes, I am. I'm going to be funny. This is the first horror movie in which a chainsaw is used against a tree.
I understand. I mean, and then it spews out blood and all that.
Now, thank you for that enormous laugh of support.
Well,
there.
it's not that
funny
funny.
remark. You know,
Our next movie stars Angelina Jolie as the single most unconvincing TV reporter in movie history, and that covers a lot of ground. It's called Life or Something Like It, but it's nothing like it and reads like it was pieced together after an explosion at the used screenplay factory. Jolie's archenemy is a sexy cameraman played by Edward Burns, who can't stand her ego. She can't stand him either. They fight so much, we just know they're going to end up in the sack together. Network stardom or life with a cameraman back in Seattle? Which choice will she make? And who cares? Now, that's a real good question.
I care.
You care?
I care. And I'll tell you what, I know this movie's a cartoon, and it's not.
Oh, you're not going to like it.
Yeah, I am. Well,
oh my God.
I'm not only going to like it, I'm going to embrace it. She's just having fun. It reminded me of Legally Blonde last year, which didn't have a plausible story either, but Reese Witherspoon was so good. And Angelina Jolie is so good. I'm recommending this movie, even granting to you that it has a lot of howlishly wrong scenes about TV. It's just a fun romp, and she's good enough for me to say, go see it and have fun with her.
Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Life or something like it.
Well, she's, you know...
This movie is called Highlander 2, The Quickening. What a title. And it's Highlander 2, The Quickening. What a title. This movie, I think I can safely say, is a film that defies description. How else to account for a character who comes from another planet but seems to know nothing he didn't learn in Scotland 500 years ago? Or a planetary shield that should have produced an ice age but creates a heat wave instead? Or an ozone layer that can repair itself in just 25 years? We've got a month to go, Gene, before we start choosing our list of the year's worst films, but I think it's safe to reserve a place on my list for Highlander 2, The Quickening.
When they thought of the title, didn't anybody say, you know, that's kind of awkward?
How about the original title, Highlander? If you saw a movie called Highlander, would you think it was about somebody from outer space?
No, I think about somebody from Scotland. But the special effects, I read about this picture. It cost $34 million to make this picture. I can't believe it.
You're kidding me.
Shot in Argentina. Where did the money go?
$34 million? They must have had a limousine every time they went to the John.
Sean Connery got a grin on his face even in some of the tension-filled scenes because he's cashing a big paycheck. He probably got paid millions for this picture.
But
It's ridiculous.
What was Britney Spears thinking when she greenlighted this project? That it would be sincere and dramatic and showcase her serious acting skills? Won't audiences basically be expecting an upbeat comedy with a lot of music? I think so. The stories involving Britney's long-lost mom and Zoe's indifferent fiancé and Taryn's pregnancy all end sadly. And I'm thinking, give us a break. We're only 18 and already life is a dismal soap opera? And since the movie's primary audience will be younger kids, do we really need date rape, drinking, trying to lose your virginity, miscarriages, and running away from home? Crossroads was enough to make me nostalgic for the Spice Girls.
And, you know, one of the things that's ironic in this movie is she sings along with the Madonna song, and she sings along with the Sheryl Crow song, and she sings along with the Shania Twain song, and she does a cover of a Joan Jett song, and it just keeps reminding you, oh, Britney doesn't have that much talent as a singer. She's not yet an actress, not quite a singer as well. It's a disaster.
Well, Gene, taking a page from your book, at about this time last year, I would like to announce that I have now seen the worst movie of 1998.
Wow.
This movie stinks. It is an entertainment-free dead zone, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm trying to think if I'm going to settle for this as a good year, if that's
they can't even lip sync to their horrible music successfully. Our first movie is named The Stepfather, and it tells the story of a man who has a strange and brutal pattern in his life. He marries divorced women with children and plays the perfect stepfather as long as he can hold out. Then he murders the family in cold blood and goes looking for a new family as his next victim. And at this point, the movie executives hearing this story say, sounds good, keep talking.
Oh, God.
I was amused by how the movie keeps a straight face, though, while recycling those ancient cliches you were talking about, cliches that Mad Magazine was making fun of when I was a kid. Look at this scene with Alec Baldwin as General Jimmy Doolittle, and tell me if you think you've ever heard this dialogue before.
Take a look at the man beside you. It's a good bet that in the next 6 weeks, you or he will be dead.
I think it's a wasted opportunity because they have all this money and they wanted to do service to this thing, and it's a 3-hour film, but it's so dumb. Michael Bay's the Leroy Neiman of directors, let's just say it. I mean, it's just schlock, even if it's done with a certain professionalism.
They must have a tin ear, because there were lines in this movie where people just automatically laugh.
Yeah.
And I mean, what about that ridiculous
Don't take away
scene?
my wings, you know.
Yeah, or I don't want to be a hero, I just want to matter. Or Wild Orchid has some intriguing people in it. It's photographed with style, but since I didn't believe in these people, I couldn't care much about their love life.
Well, let's start with Carrie Otis. I mean, let's say that this film is made by a man and is for a male audience, and it will intimidate women to go along with their men so the guys can enjoy the picture. All right?
Okay.
On that basis, Carrie Otis is portrayed with the brain power of a pumpkin. Mm-hmm. She's supposed to be a lawyer. Mm-hmm. All right? That means she's done postgraduate work. This woman is given dialogue.
She's an international lawyer. She gets
can
a big
speak
job.
many languages.
Yeah.
Why then does she have to be stupid? Why can't she say a sentence? Now, either Otis is a terrible actress, or she's been given
Jane, obviously,
awful dialogue.
I think she was cast because she is a great looking woman.
Right.
The whole problem here is your heart goes out to this Cariotis character because you think, my God, the character is so dumb that she just doesn't have a chance with these slick people who are around her. And I don't think that was the point of the movie.
No.